Okay, here we are on slide 6. So we've got Hrosvitha. She's writing some plays. They are still very much devoted to religion. But despite that happening, the full development of drama in the Middle Ages didn't occur until the second phase of the Middle Ages, what we would call the middle of the Middle Ages, around the middle of the 11th century. So we had quite a long time there without any real theater going on because we started talking about the Middle Ages and we were talking about the 6th century. And now here we are in the 11th century. Um, and finally, in the 11th century, we start to see theater having a resurrection, if you will, and liturgical dramas being written. Liturgical dramas are plays that were performed within a church or very near a church, and they told stories from the Bible. So we're still extremely within the confines of the Christian religion, but we're going to start seeing more and more plays being written in this time period. So by the middle of the 11th century, something interesting that happened is the Vikings were almost fully converted to Christianity. The Christians had this big victory and converted the Vikings. And so the Vikings ceased their plundering. So conditions in Europe actually start becoming sufficiently stable because they're not being plundered by Vikings anymore. And town life begins to revive, and industry begins to flourish, and trade begins to flourish. And this revival of Europe was really rapid, and it spread throughout the continent, and sizable cities began to grow up again. So when you have these cities growing, you also have schools that start to get formed. And the schools grew up around the Gothic cathedrals. And along with universities, these schools in the Gothic cathedrals and universities start to displace monasteries as the primary place for learning. So in the Middle Ages, before now, the only place where any learning was taking place was in monasteries. So learning was really just a place for monks. And now, in this better era, the middle of the Middle Ages in Europe, we've got these cities growing, we've got schools being formed, we've got universities being formed, cathedrals are being built, and liturgical dramas are being performed in them. And so more like regular people can witness these dramas because before they were just being performed in the monasteries for monks and nuns, and now regular people can go to cathedrals and see these dramas be performed. So it's all opening up very slowly but surely. Okay, more on the next slide.